Welcome to the stream, folks. I think they're just warming up. They're going to be playing on 3 tables again. And all of a sudden, my laptop's loud enough for me to actually hear. Strange. All right. They'll be underway shortly, just warming up, I think. Just give me a sec here, and we'll get to a... just updating the bracket. So Hammertime actually lost their first match against the Metro to guys, and then they defeated the CPL, the 50 Shades of Slay, and Metro. They got revenge on Metro to guys to knock them out and get to the B-side final. Beer League Legends, as you just saw, lost in the A-side final to teammates. There's some question as to the name Hammertime. There's some confusion. But whatever, we're there. We got it on there. Y'all guys all know who I'm talking about. That reminds me. And I need one more. Just getting the rosters up and ready. Get that into my production software. And there you go. There's our rosters for today. Hammertime out of the Warriors League in Surrey. Tom Joyce, Marv Joe, Paul Dryden, Ross, Bradson, and Tony Jacobs. They'll be going up against the Beer League legends Kane Height, Clark Smith, Gus Derwenko, Ian Burns, and Randy White. That's starting in just a couple of minutes. Like I said, they will be playing... Where's my... on 3 tables, so this will go fairly quick. They'll play right away after this. I wish I could zoom out a little farther. Let me just take a look at something here, see if I can get a little bit more room. Yeah, that's all I've got from the camera. You got full height there. Next time we'll see if we can't get the cameras just a little further away. And then we get a little bit more of the players. That's Kane on the right. Replay still recording, so we're good that way. Beer League legends, their route to this part of the tournament, they defeated the Comox Valley Pool League in their first match. Then the Metro team in their next match. That put them on the A-side final where they were defeated by the teammates Now they're up against Hammertime. Starting on table one, I believe that's Randy White from the Mission Pool League. Crushes the 5 ball, makes the 9 on the side. If Randy can get that head ball break working, look out. He'll run a couple racks. He's above the 650 mark on the Fargo, I think. Kane breaking on the right-hand side. That 10 ball's going to drop. But he's in tough for a starting position. Basically has to take the 13. He's going to need to do something fancy to get that 15 out of there. Jacked up over the 8. Just wants to gently roll this in so he doesn't lose the cue ball. And he's through to the 12. Randy with the 5 just wants to get past that 14 on the single rail bounce. Like to take that 4 or the 3, depending on which one he gets a little better look at. Definitely going for the 3 there. Wow, he did a great job to keep that cue ball inside the 14. You could see him leaning into it and steering it with body English. You really shortened that up nice. Kane in the meantime with the combination. Gets that to go, but he's got a problem. Now, is that 14-9 wired for the corner? You can play the carom 14 off the 9 to the corner. If that's the case, like if it's wired, you can run your cue ball right through it and try and break that 15 out. It has to be wired perfect, though. Little guy barreling down the hallway. Tom Joyce. Moving around the table, taking his survey, trying to figure out the pattern and the order. Kicking at the 4. Ball in hand. He was really trying to get that cue ball through and around. Tom trying to get as straight as he can on that 2. Little guy down the hall having a lot of fun. Not sure if you can hear him on the stream or not, but he's enjoying something. Tom with the 5 ball to that top left corner. I think he's trying to go over for the 1. No, he's just coming past for the 3. He'd like to shoot the 6 from here, but you're bridging around that 8, so I think he's going to try cutting the 3 in and improving his position. I'm outside the game room, Dave. I didn't want to set up inside there because they want to play music and everybody wants to relax and not have to keep it quiet for the streaming, so I tried to set up somewhere else quiet, and it just changes sometimes. That's the way it is. Live and learn. I think this is better than being in the room right next to the table, because then I can talk in a normal tone of voice and y'all can hear me, and I don't have to worry about analyzing the shot and having the player hear me or change her mind. Not that they would, but just in case. Oh, something in the throat there. Ross running out nicely on table number 1. Pick the right pattern. Eight ball in the corner. And Hammertime's on the board with 1. Oh, Tom super close to the 8. If he cuts this in that top left corner pocket, he's going to let the cue ball go. Always a risk, especially headed at that 15-9. You can't predict exactly where the cue ball is going to go. Don't want to scratch. He was actually able to hit that a lot slower than I thought, with a lot more control than I thought. So nice work. I'm just going to check and make sure those guys are aware that the tablet's ready to go, because there's been a couple games and nobody's updated it. There we go. They didn't realize that it was up and running. Tony Jacobs on the left table, running the 6 ball into the bottom right-hand corner pocket. Comes back out across for the 3. That's going to work. Next puzzle is to navigate all those obstacles and get down here for the 7. Simplest way is just into that rail and back down. If you don't like it, he's pretty straight, so I'm not sure if you can get enough speed to do the 3 rails in a round. Can't tell how he's cueing the cue ball. Looks low. He could be trying to come 3 rails around or just draw straight off of it. He's coming around the table. Why don't I have a side camera? Somebody not enjoying themselves anymore. Paul jacking up. Doesn't want to double hit this, so he's trying to get that cue out of the way as quick as he can with the 15. Nicely done. Looked clean to me. That cue ball came away, didn't stutter, didn't hop. Tony's gonna go for it. He's looking at this bank. That is such a tiny window. I almost think I like the kick this way. But if it goes in, I got that replay button ready. Oh, just misses the 8. Doesn't give up much. His opponent may just have to take the 13. Ian Burns it is. He'll probably play a safe, to be honest with you. You can shoot that 15 into the 11, 14. Have the cue ball drift a little bit right to get nicely in behind the 9. And open up your table. Oh, don't put it back in there. I thought he was going to shoot the 11. But the important thing there is to break them apart and leave Tony nothing. Right-hand table. Gus looking pretty relaxed at the table today. He's rolling balls in left and right. He's got to move the 2 here. Rolling into it's just going to cause problems. He's got to hit this with some speed to break it in and out. Oh, he hit it the right way. Just didn't make the 4. Meanwhile, Tony lining it up, going airborne. This is a heck of a jump. I didn't see it. I think he made a good hit. I was trying to change scenes. I'm not sure. I'll know in a second when Ian either goes to pick up the ball or doesn't. Oh, Paul trying to pocket weight the 12 in the corner is going to foul. That's a ball in hand. The difficulty here is I don't think either one of those balls go into a side pocket for Gus. He might have to shoot. He might be able to shoot the 4 on the side, but yeah, he's going to have to shoot the 4 in this side. You've got ball in hand. You can set it up nicely. Oh, off both horns. Wow. If the 12 ball doesn't roll that far and cover the pocket, Gus is out. Paul drawing off the 12 a little bit to set up the 14. That's a little awkward here. He may just roll up and make the 14 take the 8 into this corner. It's the best position you can get. Just rolling up and stopping right there. He's going to try and draw off it, though. That'll work, too, coming out here. Oh, he ran into it. That could have been risky, but it's worked out. He's missed it. Oh, my gosh. I think all the pool over the last few days have added up. People are starting to get a little tight. Oh, that's got to miss. That's going to go behind the 8. Oh, wow. It stopped in time. Gus a little fortunate there. Who's that on table 1? Is that Ian? I'm not sure. I don't recognize the cue. Gus with a clutch 8 ball. Gets it to drop, and the Beer League legends are on the board. Meanwhile, Ian with a long 10 ball just trying to come off the end rail and back out up towards the center of the table. Gets somewhat straight on the 9. 50-yard line, halfway between the side and the corner. If you take it to the corner, you want to draw into the 8. Shoot the 9 here. You want to come this way. Going forward just brings that side pocket into play. But he's going to take it to the side and run up. It's going to have more angle this way. Off the 8, he'll play with a little bit of top right and just try and leave the cue ball in this zone. Putting it there, probably more like here, but putting against the rail there, even though you're fully committing to the shot, you're just playing the weight, gives your opponent headaches if for some reason you don't make it. You made it anyway. That's going to bring Tony back up to table 1. Score not updating. Let me double check that and be right back. There we go. All tied up at 3. Wow. That'll make you jump. Paul with the 13 in the bottom right-hand corner. 12 on the side. Needs to get a little bit of angle to get over for the 9 when he plays the 14. He's going to want to be over here so that he can drift this way for the 9. Unless he takes the 9 now. He might choose to take the 9 now. That's not a bad play either. Just draw back a little bit. And then you'll have options whether you get nicely on the 15 and that's good enough for you, or you can roll forward a little bit, play the 14 in the side, then the 15 and back out for the 8. This is what I'm talking about planning at least 3 balls ahead. These guys are planning 5, 6, sometimes all 8 if it's there. Clark just gets that 12 to drop on the left table. 8 ball hanging in the corner pocket. He's got to get that 13 ball out of there soon. You want to be a little closer, though, when you start moving that around. From here, Paul's going to move the 14 out. He's going to shoot the 9. Maybe with a little bit of top spin, but mostly stun. And he'll hit it with a weight that it's just rotating a little bit more, but it'll be sliding more than rotating, and that'll bump the 14 over. Oh, he drew it a little bit. I expected the cue ball to go into the side of the 14 and roll forward towards the 15, but it came back a little bit. So, Clark. Is that Clark still at the table? Yep. I recognize the shoes. Only because we were watching a video earlier with him, and he's like, yeah, that's me. I'm like, how do you know? He's like, shoes. I'm like, okay. Wow. That's all you have. Cue ball into the rail and back out. That's going to be close to the 8, though. That's the only offensive shot I see. You don't need to play offensive, though, but you do need to get this out here. He's calling it 3 rails. The 6 is in the row. It's going to be real close to the 6. Yeah, he would have run right into the 6, but I think he had the line very, very close. Meanwhile, Ian on table 2. He'll leave himself for that 1. And he's got angle to come up table. He can just draw straight up this way. For the 5, the 4, and then the 7. With the 8 in the side or the corner, depending on how he lays on it. Oh, and he rubs the 9 on the way through. Tony jacked up over the 6. Stretched out to the middle of the table. This is a tough shot, but he gets it to fall. We are also streaming on the Kickin' Billiards YouTube channel, folks. Haven't done that very often, but figured we'd get it going, get some more practice doing it. With that head shake, it looked like Ross might have lost the game that he was playing. That would put Beer League Legends up 4-3. Oh no, Tony's scratching the side. No, hits the horn on the side and stays out. If I were Tony, I'd probably be playing the cue ball off the 1 and trying to duck it in behind the 5. But he's trying to feed that 5 right through. There might be room. If anything, you got to get that 8 out of there. Or switch the 5 and the 8 around. Make it tough. Oh, he's locked it up. Make it tough for Clark when he gets back, but we'll see. Well, you can tell that these corner pockets aren't much more than 4.5. Those are 2 1/4-inch balls, and he couldn't quite force it through, so not a lot of room there. No, they're not like the pros that play on 4-inch. I mean, we're not pros. Oh, he's gonna... I thought that was gonna rattle and stay in the pocket. Tony's probably gonna take another crack at this 5. Tony's got to go after the 5 here. That's going to work. Forced the 5 through, and he's on the 1. The hard part's done. Meanwhile, Ian trying to clean up some of the balls at the bottom end of this table. That'll get one of them. He was trying to come out a little farther for the 4. He might just roll up to the 7. I've seen a lot of that today. Just roll up safeties. Roll up to the 7, bounce the 7 here, and just leave the cue ball there. Ian taking his time. Tony not in a rush either. Tony should be able to thin the 4 into the 2 and make it in the side, but man, you don't want to be playing trick shots this late in the game. If you have to, you have to, but you don't have to like it. Tony really tossing this one back and forth. He's playing the 4 down the rail. He's got to gently draw this off the 4. If you hit this hard, you scratch. You have to hit it soft so that the spin takes right away on the 4 and draws back into the rail, into the 3. So only work if you hit it soft. Well, now he's in a bit of a predicament there. Just watching the replay of that shot, trying to see if I could determine. I mean, it's a moot point now, but I always like to know. I don't know. I'd have to see it in a bigger screen. So nothing definitive on there. Paul Dryden just going to play a little safety here. He just touched the 4. So in true sportsmanship-like fashion, he immediately stands up and tells his opponent, hey, I bumped the 4. Do you want to move it back? Because it barely rocked in place. His opponent will probably, and does, just let it sit there. It's fine. It's not going to affect anything. Gently roll this down table. Slide in behind that 15. That's the right speed. Is it the right line? I'm not sure. He might have given him the 7. Thanks to all the shares and likes, everybody. Much appreciated. And to all the new followers, welcome aboard. Ian, I guess, is just hooked by the edge of the 7 ball. They're playing on 3 tables. We've been going 44 minutes. We got 8 games downrange. That's a good pace. Means we're on time. Going airborne. There's a few things that affect what type of jump shot and how accurate your jump shot's going to be. How close your object ball is determines how high you have to go. Or how quickly you have to get it up in the air. And how close the object ball is to the ball you're jumping. If you've got a good distance between both, and you've got lots of table to work with, you can usually use a much more level cue. And that gives you the ability to put more spin on the ball accurately, even in a jump shot. The closer you are to the object ball and the closer the ball you're trying to jump is, the less you try and do with the cue ball. It's more about just getting it up, get it over, get the good hit, and get it down. Hey, Mr. Doug Lowe, how are you doing, sir? Ian thins the 7 in. That cue ball's got to come out a little further. He'd like it to bounce a couple of inches off that rail, but it's not going to. Still potable. He can still work with it. The trick here is both up table pockets are taken. He can try and run it through the 8, or run the 8 through the 14, but that's taking a risk. And now that he's only got the top half of the cue ball to use, any spin you put on it is going to amplify, what do you call it, the swerve of the cue ball. So your accuracy is affected big time. But if Ian can just play this 2 rails and get the cue ball back out to the center of the table, he should be okay to cut this in one of the side pockets. Oh, it's going to go long into a side. No, it hits the horn. He would have been fine. Well, maybe if he makes the 4, it doesn't work. We will have to talk about KOH, Doug. Something we can certainly jaw about. Paul, in the meantime, wants a little bit of angle on this 15, and I think he's got it. One rail towards the 8. Maybe put a touch of spin on this ball. Oh, that looked like it was closer than it could have been. But this should do it for that rack. Hammertime leading 5-4. Now 6-4. Meanwhile, Randy White of the Beer League Legends Oh, lost the cue ball right into the side pocket. Did a one hopper. Table 2 is going to bring Clark Smith back to the table. Don't know who's playing on table 3. But it's Marv Joe for Hammertime up on table 1. He's got to deal with that 13. It's behind the line in CCS. He may end up dealing with it by cutting the 10 in the side and rolling into the side rail and bumping the 4 onto the 7. If he can set the cue ball where the 4 is, he'll have a shape on the 13 and he'll be off and running. Looks like a dry break on table 2. Thank you, though. Man, you guys that have come out to this tournament have been an awesome bunch. So many people offering to, you know, grab a drink for me or something to eat. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. I'm fine. I'm good. But at the same time, you know, I still appreciate the offer. Super group of people out here. Oh, Marv knocking the 6 ball 2 feet over. I think, seeing as how it's his opponent's ball and he broke it out for him, he's not going to make him move it back the 2 feet that the 6 ball moved. So much of pool is walking around the table figuring out your pattern. At our level. I mean, if you watched FSR, well, rotation's easier anyway because the table tells you what to play. You only have to make the decision of maybe you can shoot it one way or option A, option B, or safe. It's very rare to have like 5 or 6 different decisions to make. In 8-ball, a lot more decisions to make, a lot more congestion on the table. Many, many different ways to run it out because you can run them in any order. Of the major games in North America, and to you 3 Cushion fans, I'm sorry, I'm as much as I respect the game, it takes a ton of talent to play it. The most common ones, I'll say that, are 1 pocket, 8-ball, 9-ball, 10-ball. Straight pool is cool, you know, was gaining some popularity, but love watching 1 pocket. Those guys are so good. So many different variations of shot selection during 1 pocket that it's just mind-boggling for a newbie like me. I don't know, am I even a newbie? I don't even play it. I haven't played in weeks, months. Still love watching it though. just popped into my head for no particular reason because these guys aren't playing slow at all. But I was talking to somebody about shot clocks yesterday, and having one shot clock at each person's chair, you get this amount of time, and if you're not done by the time your time runs out, you forfeit the match. Maybe not necessary at this, but I mean some of the bigger regional events that happen down in the States where you got like 64. Oh no, Marv rattles the 8-ball. Unbelievable. Why did everything freeze? That's not good. Something happened there. That's not camera-wise. That was computer internet connection-wise. A warning come up on YouTube for some reason. Oh well. Seems to have resolved itself. David, I am always hardwired in. I will never stream anything on Wi-Fi. It's just too unreliable. Well, what I was thinking, Todd, was like, yeah, chess timers where you get an hour and a half. And if you use up your time before the end of the match, you forfeit, regardless of the score. So that stops people from getting 4 games ahead and then slowing down. You only have a certain amount of time. So your opponent doesn't affect your time. Only you control your time. So if you have an hour and a half match, that's 45 minutes each. You get 45 minutes of time each. Your clock only runs when you get to the table. Your opponent stops his time by starting yours. That way people don't stand at the table. They walk away from the table, hit the clock to start their time. Your time starts. Oh, you guys did? Nice, Todd. I know. Brad Haydu and Rob Hoiberg have shot clocks on their timer, but I mean that's only for. It wouldn't work in an event like this because you'd have to have 60 freaking however many tables there are, 40 or so chess timers, and then what happens if somebody forgets to hit it, right? Well, then you're burning your own time, right? I mean, it's fair. Everybody's getting an hour of time, right? You got a 2-hour match, you each get an hour. Some guys would finish the match in half an hour. Some guys would want to take their whole hour. We're actually running ahead here, Dave. Actually, we're not ahead. We're right on time. Our next match is supposed to start at 5. These guys are pretty close to halfway. We got 3 more tables on the go. And I think we got another score to mark up. Anyway, just something to throw out there. Whoa. We're on a boat again. For those of you that have consumed some Dramamine this weekend from the camera pole being bumped, I apologize. Clark with the 4. Is he going to nudge the 8 into a better position? He is, but just barely. Very, very carefully here. Clark just needs to roll the 6 in. He can call the 8 in the side off the 11. And then you don't need time extensions either, right, Todd? Because you get your allotted time, use it how you see fit. If the match isn't done and you're out of time, you forfeit. Yeah, I don't know if Ryan's here or not. He was going to come by and... well, he stopped by once to say hello, and I thought he was going to come by again, but we'll see. Ross on table 1 has some decisions to make. High ball or low ball, it all works on this rack. Everything has challenges, but everything has solutions here. Sets up nicely for the 9. If that 13 goes past the 2, which it looks like it does. Appreciate that, Dave. Yeah. 7-5. Beer League Legends getting another one. Ross playing picture perfect position here. A little careful with that. I think that's the 14 ball. If he goes in to hit the 14, he doesn't want to touch the 15. He's going to take the 13. Is he going to play the... Is he going in there to play the combination? He might try and draw underneath the 15. Not sure what Ross is doing here. He might try and put that 14 in the left side of that pocket, go to that side rail, come across towards the 3. No, just tried to draw it out. He's going to have to come back. Can't get it from there. Start with the 11, see if he can draw off this. If he can draw off the 11 to get the 12. A little shake of the head, he doesn't like it. Got to keep still. He's playing this a little above center. He's going to go into the rail and around the 12. That'll work. Whoa, now, don't get too close to the 1. Okay, he's far enough from the 1 that he can draw off this 12, or he could run it around. I think he's going to try and draw it right past the 8 towards the 3. Draw right off that ball. He's coming right up table. Randy White on the other hand, on the other table, is still doing his survey. Oh, what's happening here, folks? Why have we got this going on? I'm going to shut down the stream to YouTube. Sorry to those watching. You can pick it up on the Facebook page of Kickin' Billiards. But I think using 3... Oh. One or more cameras has failed in the recording.